Hey Fandom, it's Mia for a comic show. We've got a nice week of comics this week, including something really special. It's Puerto Rico Strong. It's a pretty thick graphic novel by Lion Forge. It's only $12.99, and all of the profits from the sales go to rebuilding and relief efforts in Puerto Rico. However, this book is not about the disaster, it's not about the hurricane, it's not really about the rebuilding. It's about a celebration of the culture, the history, and the people. So if you are Puerto Rican, or if you are interested in supporting the relief efforts, or if you're just curious about their history, their culture, and things about their people, which, you know, growing up here, I know all this stuff. It's cool. You know, I've been you do your research here in Florida, but other places around America, maybe not. Maybe this would be all new information, but I thought it was really good. I thought they did a great job of doing a piece of charity work that actually is a celebration and something that is educational and inspiring, as opposed to just, you know, well, here's what happens, it's bad, we're trying to fix it. So we have plenty of this book, and we'll be selling it all day long. And like I said, the profits from the sales go to the relief efforts, and rebuilding. But the stories are not said. They're uplifting, educational. Yeah, they're like any history. There's things that are sad about the past and whatnot, and even the present, obviously. But this book is something that it's not a downer. It's definitely not a downer. So there's that. And you can feel good about supporting charity. For Image, Infidel, #1, this may be a sleeper hit. Never heard of these creators before. Read it because the cover looked cool, the premise was cool, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was creepy as hell. It's a Muslim horror book. There's a building, there's something that happened in the building, there's a Muslim woman that lives there that is freaked out about it, creeped out about it, but, you know, not so much that she's strong, she's not fully, stuff happens. Stuff happens with creepy-ass ghosts, creepy-ass bigoted racist ghosts. And at least that's what I think it is, and it's unsettling as hell. And it's a great first issue. It comes out swinging, great cliffhanger, and I liked it. It is everything about horror. I mean, it's here, and it's nice that it touches on things that are scary in the real world now. You know, and that's what makes good horror. So get it if you're a horror fan, or if that's piques your curiosity. Also, for independent books, Dark Horse's American Gods. A little guy named Neil Gaiman did this book. This is the second miniseries. They're doing what looks like the Hellboy model of series of miniseries. So if you got the last one, you'll probably want to get this one, and it's out now. Moving on to DC, Green Lantern Earth 1, Volume 1. You know me, you know I'm a huge Green Lantern fan. I got the tat on my arm. I've always loved Green Lantern. I love Guy Gardner, the Green Lantern nobody loves. But you would expect me to be pretty hard on this, pretty rough on this. It's a reimagining, but I actually really dug it. It's dark. It's a dark kind of modern sci-fi. It's set a little bit in the future, you know, 10, 20 years in the future, something like that. And Hal Jordan is something of an astronaut, not glamorized. You know, he's just looking for resources, looking for ore, looking for whatever. And, you know, funding's cut. Is he going to lose his job? Is he going to be laid off? And you know what he finds is a frickin' ring, a frickin' Green Lantern ring on a data alien. And what is cool about this book is that everything is extrasolar, not just extraterrestrial, like out of our solar system, but it's so grounded. It's a grounded story. There's not like fantastical magic. There's not crazy, ridiculous science fiction stuff. It's grounded. There's a central battery. There's these manhunters. The reason the manhunters exist is similar to the original continuity, but a little bit more sinister. And Hal Jordan is Hal Jordan. And even in this reimagination, where things are much darker, much grittier, and he's much less powerful. His will, his indomitable spirit, even with no training, he kicks ass because he's Hal Jordan. He's a Green Lantern. So Kilowog is also in it heavily, and I really enjoyed it. So I think if you are a hardcore Green Lantern fan, you'd probably like it. And if you didn't like Green Lantern because it seems a little bit like corny, hokey, like, I got a magic ring, look at my imagination, yay, you'll probably like it because it's a lot more grounded. So having said that, I love Green Lantern, obviously. Mr. Miracle 7, this issue was very stressful, very claustrophobic. The entire issue, Big Barda is giving birth to their baby. The entire issue, yes, they are there. They're Scott's arch enemies. But when they meet in battle, they'll be after him again. But they're there for support of their lifelong friend, Big Barda, and during her pregnancy. So that's what it is. I'm not spoiling anything other than saying it is very, very stressful, much like what a actual delivery is, especially being, from my perspective, being the dude that's like, oh, what the heck can I do? I'd feed you ice chips, hold your leg back, I encourage you to breathe. It's crazy. So that frustration, that powerlessness, and Scott Free's main gimmick, main power-ish, is escaping. He can't escape this. He has to be present for this, fully present. He can't leave. And it's intense. It's really intense. Finally, Eternity Girl, Young Animal, issue 1. She appeared in the Milk War, those Milk War books here and there. And she's kind of like Element Girl in that powers somewhat similar. She is immortal-ish. She wants to die. Nothing works. Kind of like that classic Neil Gaiman story with Death and Element Girl, Metamorpho's cousin or whatnot. It's Eternity Girl, kind of like Kid Eternity. But what is the best about this book is the meta stuff. The stuff that's like, it feels like she is very aware that she has these problems because she's in a comic book. It feels like. Maybe not explicit, but I liked it. I want to see where it's going, and it's a nice addition to the Young Animal line, which is a nice throwback to my favorite Vertigo books like Kid Eternity and Doom Patrol and all that stuff. So if you're a Young Animal fan, if you like the other things Young Animal put out, definitely get it. I enjoyed it. Moving on to Marvel. This is it. This is the big shit. Avengers, No Surrender, number 10, called The Return of Banner Hulk. It is the return of Banner Hulk. This is not a spoiler. Banner Hulk's back. It goes through all the times he has died in continuity and that he is basically immortal. And it literally says the Immortal Hulk. That's going to be the new book. Now, what side is he going to be on? Is he going to be with the Avengers or against the Avengers? I'm not telling you. That's in here. He is more a monster now. And from what I understand about his ongoing book that's coming, he's going to be on his own, not crossing over, kind of like a monster book. Kind of like he's finally going to be left alone, maybe. We'll see how that could be interesting. It can, but we'll see. That issue was great. And it's already going for ridiculous. I read somewhere it was going for $14 on eBay. It's a speculation nonsense. But so if you want it, get to your store on Wednesday. New Mutants, Dead Souls #1 by Rosenberg, same dude that did Resurrection Jean Grey. You know he knows mutants. This is not just another X-Men team. Yes, it's a mini. Yes, it has the name of a past X-Men team, New Mutants. But it's a horror story. Kind of like, exactly like what we've heard of the New Mutants movie coming is going to be a horror edge superhero mutant story. This is a horror story. You have magic. And it's also a fun thing of getting those third stringers, that C-listers that you don't see, like Strong Guy, Richter, Boomer, Boom Boom, Wolfsbane. So it felt like an old school X-Men group where it's like, hey, look at these characters. They're not doing anything. Here, the camera's following them. You like these guys. But it had a focus. It has a reason for being. It has a theme. It's a horror miniseries. if you like horror and you like mutants, if that Venn diagram overlaps, get it. Speaking of horror, it's Horror Week. Doctor Strange, Damnation came out. It answered some questions like, well, where are some of these big gun magic types? And well, they're in here in this issue. And yeah, it's there. So there's that. And then finally, also, Ben Reilly, Scarlet Spider is a crossover to it. It's Peter David. He's not magic, but he actually lives in Las Vegas. So there's that. And yeah, check that out if you're really loving Damnation. Like I said, it's Peter David. But absolutely, if you're reading the Damnation, you have to read Doctor Strange. It moves the plot. It's the same writer, Donny Cates, so get that. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.